I'm Lauren, and this is Casa Bianca Pilates, my studio. And I'm here to share with you a little mat flow. This is really for all levels, especially if you've never done Pilates before. We're going to slow it down just a touch, but we'll still get some fire going, and really all levels will benefit because you're moving your body. It's going to feel good. Some things to think about is that in any session with Pilates, we're just ready to move that spine in all different directions. So whether that be side bending, that be rounding through the spine, or opening up through the chest, and then that rotation back and forth. So that's kind of what we'll be going through today. Just going to feel good and juicy. I've got some lovely poppy, royalty-free music in the background for you, so I hope you enjoy. Let's take it down to the mat. Feet will be flat onto the floor. Hands down by your sides. Let's just open up through those collarbones. Shine those collarbones up to the sky. Hands come down. Go ahead and just kind of flex through that lower spine. So bring a whole back to the floor. And then we'll start to lift that waistband and peel that back off the mat. Breathe in at the top. Reach those knees over the toes. And exhale, lower from top to bottom. So landing those hips, that waistband evenly. Breathing in at the top. And exhale, roll it up, lift. Big breath in and come down. So one more time here. Let's roll it up and hold. We're just going to focus on that breath for just a moment, and we're also going to push that backside up to the sky. Think about when you breathe in, you've got that nice puffing out of the rib cage. So we move out through the sides versus that big belly breath. So inhale through the rib cage, exhale out through the mouth. One more time, big breath in. Big breath out. As we inhale, we'll reach those arms up to the sky. Take those arms all the way back as far as you can, right? Everyone's going to be a little different. We're going to reach those arms back to the sky and take it down and lift. So just kind of opening up, working that mobility of the shoulders. Trying to keep those hips lifted. You can rest them at any time. Keep anchored through those feet. Keep gripping through that backside. And then let's add those hips as well. So tap the hips down and lift. Pick up that pace a little. Thrust those hips. Waistband equal. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold this next lift. Pull those arms out to the side. So give me a wide goalpost here. Then squeeze. Give yourself a high five or get pretty close. In, out, in, out. Feel the back of those shoulder blades kind of pressing into the floor, gliding around. 4 and 3 for 2 and 1. Hold it wide. Send those hips down. Bring those hands behind the head. Rest the head, elbows wide. So from here, things to think about is that we want to avoid a big arch in that back, especially if it just doesn't feel good. So try to recruit that core to help pull the rib cage down so we have a nice neutral spine. And then we start to curl up. So make a half C-shaped curve with the spine. So just that upper back lifts off and lower back down. Exhale. And inhale. When you come up, you're looking at your thighs versus the ceiling. Exhale, lift. And come down. For 4. And 3. Exhale for 2. Avoid pulling the head, right? You want to work through those abdominals. Hold the lift. Right leg lifts, tabletop position. We rotate to that right side only and center. Right, center. Take a look at those knees when you cross over. Make sure this lower half stays relatively still, right? There might be a little fluidity there. Not a big deal. For 4. And 3. Exhale, 2. We're going to hold the lift if you can. Rest if you need to. We lower that right foot. We lift with the left. Exhale, rotate just the upper body. Rotate and center. Think about wringing out that shirt right in the middle. Wring it out. Just that rib cage pivots. 4. And 3. Exhale for 2. Last time here. Hold lift of the upper chest. Feet come down. Reach those arms towards your knees, little pulses up. Try to lift those shoulder blades a little bit higher off the floor. Exhale, lift, reach. Nice and long through those arms. For 4, and 3, for 2, and 1. Rest the head, hands come down. Open up through the collarbones again. Shine them up to the sky. Go ahead and lower that back towards the floor. It might hit, it might not, just depending on body. Lift those knees into tabletop. We're going to start to reach that right leg long, then the left. Now pausing for a beat and pulling. Reach and pull. All the while, pelvis should stay relatively still here. Finding maybe a little bit more hip movement here. Reaching, maybe taking those heels a little lower. Maybe we take them higher, right? You can always make this easier by taking the heels higher, or maybe just shortening that range. For 4, last 3 on each. For 2, last one's here. Pull in, tabletop position. Classic, just little heel taps lower down. For 2, lift up. For 2, we switch legs. When I say heel tap, heels don't have to touch. Right, maybe they just kind of come halfway down. Especially if we're feeling a little low back funk. Just something doesn't feel right, again, shorten that range. If you want, we take it faster, if you'd like. And lift. 2 more here. Last time here. Hold the lift. Curl up, arms just float down by your sides. And now we're going to bring those inner thighs together, or as close as you can. Find that nice hug in towards your center. And we start to hinge both legs away and lift back up. Head can rest down. I like to give you lots of options. Who knows, this could be a rest day, this could be your amp up day. You can take the pace faster, slower. It's your session. I'm just here trying to guide you. 4, and 3, 2, hold at the top, lift those legs to the sky, reach for one leg, lower the other. Maybe kind of give yourself a little extra lift here. Find that nice hamstring stretch, enjoy it. Head can rest if you need to, knees can bend if they need to. Hold for a moment, we'll move and switch legs, breathe in. Let's find a little switch. How about pulse twice at the top and switch. Pulse twice and switch. Any breath here. Just want you to breathe, right? Maybe you're exhaling at the top, inhaling on the switch. We've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one's here. And pull it in. Rest the head for a moment. You can widen those knees if you want to take a little hip stretch. A little shimmy back and forth. I kind of take a little spine twist because it feels good. Drop the knees over to one side. Keep those shoulders anchored. Gaze goes anywhere it likes. Breathing into that rib cage. Feel them expand outward. Let's lift back through center. Take it to the other side. So we're doing some rotation here. We've done some flexion. That curving of the spine. Let's roll it up. Grab onto those shins. And we're going to start to lift the head. Maybe we start to find a little bit of momentum. Kind of kick the legs out until maybe you don't need momentum anymore. Maybe we start to round through that spine. You take it back. Careful not to land on the head, right? We're just taking it to the upper shoulders. And lift. We're going to find a little bounce at the top. Eventually we'll just land with those feet down. And just scooch it just a little bit back towards the center. Let's bring those feet flat. Nice hug into the inner thighs. They don't have to touch, but they're about hip width distance, about like a fist of distance between the knees and the feet. Arms reach forward. So again, stacking those shoulders over the hips. We're trying to sit up as tall as we can. Arms reach forward. We're going to round through just the upper spine. So hands go down slightly. And then we're going to take it back. So we're going to pull the body away from the legs, keeping that now that half moon shape of the whole spine. So kind of pull the pelvis underneath, reaching those arms forward. Just going to get a little bit more saucy into those arms. So arms go up, shoulder height, lift up, and shoulder height. So all the while, the feet, the legs are staying fairly still. We're just trying to hold them in, racing through that midsection, kind of closing that distance between the ribs and the hips. Breathe. For 4, and 3, and 2. Hold back, shoulder height. Open those arms out and in. Open, close. If you need to, we lift up a little bit higher for a little less, right? So make it your own. Open, in. 4, 3, 2. Bring it back together. We're going to kind of create a little enclosure. And we're going to hold our little fake beach ball. We dip the beach ball down, we lift up, and we rotate. So this big rowing sensation, dipping below, lifting high. And then take a look at those knees as you cross over. They want to be fairly stable. And that just means that the hips stay fairly anchored to the floor. For 4, and 3, for 2. Take your gaze with you. Last one's here. Woo! Let's hold it at the top. Bring the bottoms of the feet together. Create a nice long spine for the lifted tall, tall, tall. So there's a little string pulling you up, and then hinge it forward, only as far as you can keep that spine nice and long. Make a kind of little butterfly those legs. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. As we start to lift it up, we're going to roll it into a tabletop position. So I guess flip it, not roll it. Tabletop position onto your hands and knees here. Going to get a little bit more into those shoulders and core. So let's first tuck the toes, lean it back, find a little stretch of those feet. Big breath in, big breath out. Shift the body forward, shoulders come over those wrists. If you've got wrist issues, you can always kind of fold up your mat, have a little angle of those wrists. The wrists are higher than the fingertips, or grab an extra pad. All right, from here, we start to lift and hover those knees. Take a look at your knees, fairly level with one another. Tap and lift. Down and up. Down, up. Really push into those fingertips, as well as that kind of that meaty part of your palm, not just the heel of your palm, right? We're putting pressure to the whole hand. Up, down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold the lift. Start to lift that back of the waistband nice and high. Find a little downward facing dog. Soften through those heels. A little pedal out of those heels. And from here, we shift the weight forward. We find pretty equal pressure here for a moment, and then we dip it back down. Knees hover right over the mat. Laughing because of this song in the background. And pike the hips. Soften those heels. Shoulders down and back. Lifting up through that waistband. And then shifting forward and hovering. Walk the hands forward. Hold in your plank pose. You can come down to the knees here. We're going to hold here for just a moment. And then we're going to lower all the way down to the forearms. So you can clasp the hands, you can bring them side by side. Hold it here. Again, knees are fine. Rest when you need to. Amp it up when you want to. Let's find a little bit of glutes here. So we start to lift that right heel. Tap it down. Left knee can come down while we do this. Lift and lower. Maybe you're in a tabletop position and just lifting and lowering that one leg. Breathe. For 4, hug around your center. Breathing in for 5 and 4. Weights equal in those feet and shoulders. 3, 2. Let's drop down to those knees nice and wide. Send it all the way back. Find that little child's pose shell stretch. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Just give into gravity. Let everything just hang down. You can rest the head down. Shake it off. All right, from here, let's bring those knees back together. And then we're going to walk the hands forward. Shift the body, elbows tight to the body as we lower all the way down. Go ahead and turn out those toes. We're going to find that extension work that I talked about earlier. So let's bring the hands outside. So fingertips are underneath the shoulders, elbows are down to the mat. From here, we're hovering that forehead. And then without putting a lot of pressure into those fingertips, we just start to lift with the crown of the head, like you're rolling a marble forward with your nose. And then lowering it down with control. Exhale, lift, or an inhale, whatever breath is going to help feel better. And again, take this at your range, right? Maybe you're lifting halfway. Breathe it up. And down. If this feels good and you want some more, maybe you start to lift up. When you can't lift up anymore, maybe you start to push some pressure into those hands. Find a big stretch. Keep that backside on. Keep that belly button lifting. And then we lower down, nice and easy. One more time here, lift it up, press it up if you'd like, and come down and down. We're gonna hold this like hover, start to pull those arms up like big goalposts. Now we just lift the elbows higher to the sky, trying to pinch the back of your shirt with your shoulder blades. So squeezing, trying to wrinkle on the back, flapping those wings, trying to hold that hover of the arms. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Sweep the arms by your sides. Get a little bit higher. Palms face in, pinkies face up. Try to relax those toes. Sometimes my legs start to come on a little bit more. We want to keep those glutes on, so we're keeping that pelvis stable. And then we lift with the pinkies. Lift, pinkies high to the sky, squeeze. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back for one more quick child's pose, just to neutralize out that spine. Breathe it in, and out. Shifting that body forward. We come to a seated position. Kind of closing out with a little side bend. So you're going to come into a mermaid position with your legs kind of staggered. If this doesn't feel good on the hips, then definitely just sit crisscross, legs long, whatever you'd like. From here, all we're going to do is take a big juicy side bend over to one side. And then switching that direction of the arms. If you want, you can kind of hold one side bend and then reach back, gaze back. Right, a little bit more extension, unraveling, and we'll take it to the other side. Just kind of closing out this quick little flow, big side bend over. And over. One more here. Find that open up. Unraveling back through center. Last little piece. We're going to bring it back onto your back for a quick little bridge session for those glutes. Hold it down. Finding that neutral. Roll those shoulders back. You can press those palms on the floor. Lift the hips up. From here, we flat back hinge. Shake it down and lift. Lower, lift. Just tapping those glutes, anchoring through those feet for 4 and 3. Might feel a nice little stretch in the front. 2. Hold those hips high, little pulses up. Dig it up and up. Finding length where you can in that spine, reaching those knees over the toes. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Option to keep both feet down. Maybe lift one foot up. From here, we sink the hips and lift. Down and up. If you want to, that leg that's lifted, that arm is helping to press into the floor. Breathing. 4, 3, 2. Hold the lift, lower that leg, and switching sides. Again, if you want to do this with both feet on, just continue your flat back hinge, lift, push, and push. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both feet down. If you had both feet down, maybe you try just this last option here. 1 foot lifts, feet lower. 1 foot lifts and lower. Up and down. Check in with that waistband. Make sure it's nice and level. Minimizing that rock back and forth. Right, we're keeping that hug in towards our center. For 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Both feet down. Hips go down. Let's give a nice little pull into the chest with those knees. Little sway outside to side. Roll it up. Maybe those legs go long. Reach forward for those toes. Round back, flat back. Whatever feels good here. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. And we are all done. Oh, just that little movement feels good for you. And let me know if you have any requests on anything specific. I love me some requests. So look